Hello and welcome to week 4. So we are just steadily moving along, and it's really hard to believe that next week we are already going to be at the halfway point of this course. But this week we're going to start moving on to our next unit, which is going to deal with safety. And so hopefully you feel like you got some great information and foundational knowledge as you were looking at children's health in our last unit. And so this unit we're going to then take another section as we're looking at the importance of safety. And that also includes making sure that the children and our classroom are safe. So when you go into this week's module, which is going to be Module 4, you're going to see that as we are now starting to look at safety, we want to make sure that we are aware of what our responsibility is about keeping children safe. And so you're going to find that there's several different areas that we're going to be looking at. Now, please don't freak out when you see that there are 4 chapters that you're going to be looking at. None of them are overly long, but what I will tell you is go through and kind of skim it the first time. Find those sections that are going to be really important for you because they're all looking at something a little bit different. Creating high quality environments, so that means making sure that the area that the children are in are going to be safe, and how we can manage safety. But then also the management of injuries, as well as our responsibilities when it comes to abuse and neglect. So you're going to see that this week really is going to be just about everything relating to safety in children. You're also going to see that I have given you access to a really important resource, which is called Caring for Our Children. It is very, very long, several hundred pages. But I do want you to have it simply because I think that it's going to be helpful for you. It is in a PDF format, so you don't have to worry that it is that you need to print it, but it is something I would definitely recommend saving. And so this is just kind of the key guidelines that are going to help you as you start looking at this unit. So the only 2 assignments that you have for this week is you have a discussion board, which is going to be about daily health observations, and I'm also giving you access to the observation assignment. And then finally, you do have an extra credit opportunity this week. So if you go to the Department of Social Services website, you have the opportunity to complete a child abuse and neglect training. This is something I would recommend if you are planning on working with children, simply because a lot of places are going to require you to have this, and so if you've already had the opportunity to do it in this class, then it means that you're already done with it. So what you will do is click on this link, and you're going to read each part, watch the video. There's a quiz at the end, and when you're done, it's going to generate a certificate. I would highly recommend saving that certificate somehow. If it allows you to save as a PDF, I would do that. If not, take a screenshot, do something that proves that you completed this assignment. It will have your name on it. It will have the date that you completed it. But this is, again, going to be really important for you for the future. But for this class, it is going to give you 2 extra credit points on your final grade, which is a huge deal, especially if you're on the line somewhere. So this is some extra credit that you have. But when you go to the daily health observations, you are going to see that there's a little video that goes here. And so just again, it's another 3-2-1. But it's kind of bridging the health and the safety together, because when we do these daily health observations, we're actually preventing something that could potentially harm a child. So that is your discussion board for this week. And so then we get to the observation assignment. So every class that you take in the CHD program requires you to complete an observation. For this course, it's going to be an observation that's going to take you about 2 hours to complete. So it's going to be something that you're going to need to schedule and you're going to need to plan for. So basically, you're going to be going into a center. The great thing is during the summer, preschools and child care centers, parks and rec programs, they're all open. So it's not quite as difficult to get in as though if you needed to go into like an elementary school classroom, which is really difficult to do. But basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking at several different areas relating to health and safety in children and the classroom. So here's your instructions, but basically you're going to be completing a chart that we have already put together for you. And you are going to also need to make sure that you give the observation letter to the teacher. So here is the observation letter. These are some PowerPoints that are going to give you some background information. So before you actually go and do your observation, I would definitely spend the time looking over these. And so once you've done that, once you've figured out where you're going to go, you've made contact, then you're going to take this template that we've already created for you and you're going to fill it in. Now, when you go to actually do the assignment, you are probably going to just handwrite your notes, but you do need to type it when you turn it in. This is something that you're going to want to save, and so you want it to be in the best readable format. So make sure you fill in all of this information up at the top. Because our program is NACE accredited, we are required to ensure that our students are going to high quality centers to complete their observations. And so there's several different levels that prove that a center is high quality. So I just need you to tell me what they are. So if they're participating in Virginia Quality, if they are part of the old QRIS program, which was star rated, if they are NACE accredited, but at a bare minimum, they have to be licensed. So just check any of them that apply to the place that you're going. But please make sure you do tell me where you go. I am not broadcasting this information, but it is good for me to know the centers that are really high quality and then ones maybe where you're seeing things that are really concerning and we may want to stay away from in the future. But basically, we have given you prompts, and so you need to look around the classroom and the environment to see how they're doing in relation to this. So we've told you what to look for, and so over here you're going to type in your responses. Please do not type yes or no and just leave it there because I won't give you credit for that. Really, I'm looking for you to be my eyes into the classroom, which means you've got to give specific examples. So I expect that each of these blocks are probably going to be pretty full. If you happen to not see something which is unusual in this particular observation, but if that does happen, then just write down it's not applicable because you didn't see it. And so you'll see things like safety, the different activity centers, adult furnishings, napping. We're kind of taking everything that we've talked about the last couple of weeks and put it into this one observation. But when you are done, please make sure that you complete the conclusion. If you only turn in the chart, you're going to lose quite a bit of points because even though this is really important information, this is just as important because it's the analysis of what you have seen. So tell me what things they were doing well. Don't just give me a bullet point list of the things that you said they did well. Everything needs to be written in a narrative format. So what are the things that they did well and give me the examples that go along with it. I also want to know things that maybe they didn't do so well. And not only that, but if you had the opportunity to help them out, what suggestions would you give to be able to help them do better on the things maybe they're not doing so great on? So when you complete your assignment, you are actually going to have not only this chart fully filled in, but you're also going to have a summary. I will tell you that most of the summaries are anywhere between a page and 2 pages. So if you wrote a few sentences and think that was enough, you're probably not going to get full credit. So that basically is in a nutshell what it is that you're going to be doing. Here we say 2 to 5 pages is sufficient, but most people get it done between 1 and 2, and then sometimes if they just have a lot to say, it can go a little bit further. But I'm not looking for a 10-page paper here. And so here, of course, is the rubric. So this is something I want you to have fun with because this is the practical side of the information. You've read a lot in your textbooks, you've viewed videos, you've looked at other resources. This is where we're really seeing where the rubber meets the road. Are they doing the things that we said that they're supposed to be doing? And if not, how can we actually use the information that we now have to be able to help them? So that pretty much takes care of the observation assignment. And again, you have several weeks to get this done. Do not procrastinate because then it's going to be hard to try and squeeze in somewhere. I cannot give you places to go because then it appears as though I'm biased. But remember that if you actually go into the I think it is, let me see if I can find it here, where I have some extra resources for you. And if I can't find them here, then I will, I think they're up here in the modules. So when you go here to the helpful CHD documents and resources, you're going to find that here are some places that it has list of centers that are NACCE accredited, participating in Virginia Quality, and then this is the licensing website. So if you've never had to do an observation before, this is going to be a good place for you. So again, I found this in the modules, and under the course information, it's the helpful CHD documents and resources. So I think that takes care of week 4. Enjoy starting to learn about the safety aspect of this course, and I would definitely recommend going ahead and trying to find a place you can get your observation done. So have fun with it, and I will see you in week 5.